Hello and welcome everyone back to War for the Crown, Songbird, Scion, Saboteur. We are in session 22. Last we left off, the party came back from dealing with the ghouls at the pump house. They got some things repaired. They assisted with a trial. I handled that. When they returned home, they found three little impish-like creatures just hanging out on their couches that Erivid seems to be kind of friendly with. And I believe that is where I lovingly cliffhangered everyone. As you walked in, Erivid said hello. Blunk said, "Oh, are these your friends?" And then we left it at that.
Yeah. Which one is the ginger cat?
I believe Blunk was the black cat. Let's see. Here we go. Nod is the ginger cat. I almost said ginger.
And you said everything was back as it was?
It all should be.
Awesome. And I don't explain a single thing to anyone else.
Yeah, and Blunk himself just turns around and walks over to the couch. And
Excuse
takes a
me.
plop on it.
I don't believe we've been acquainted.
I hear that from over the banister, and I just say down. We were told that we had housekeepers, right? Then I continue.
Yeah, we're your housekeepers.
Oh, all right. I'm certainly not opposed to housekeepers. I think I just missed the window of opportunity for introductions. I don't recognize any of you.
Oh, don't you worry yourselves. We recognize you plenty. You might recognize our other forms. If you've seen a few cats running around here, yeah, that was us. This is our home before you barged in, but don't worry about it. Your friend upstairs made kindness, and now we share the place. We're your new roommates. I'm Blunk, that's Nod, that's Wink. They all kind of raise a hand, and it's less of a hello wave and more like a kind of just, yeah, welcome wave. Like a lax, just hand up, hand down.
It's just a name indicator.
Okay. Have we seen a total of 3 different cats? Like, do we know the different colors? I'm just writing it down on my notes. We've got a black cat and a ginger.
Most, you've seen the ginger and the black cat.
Okay. I think Desmond's kind of like just kind of processing all this, and it's like, wait. Whichever one of you was the ginger cat, I didn't mean any offense in addressing you as a cat.
Don't you worry about it. We like being cats.
Oh, well.
It's how we trick fools like you.
Well, I mean, I can't deny that I was fooled. I did not recognize that we had shapeshifters in our midst. Has an agreement been reached already? Do I need to do anything?
Oh yeah, your buddy agreed to, for all of you, as long as you keep feeding us with booze and various snacks, we'll keep this place tip-top shape.
Alright, that seems like a very reasonable thing to ask. My name is
Nice.
Desmond Belfry. I'm just looking around. Everyone's already walking off. It's like, where's everyone going?
Desmond Belfry, good to know. It's mostly just Blunk talking to you. Nod seems to be just kind of... These other two are kind of just like laying down, just resting their feet. Blunk is like the headmaster of them.
Gotcha, and that's probably like recognizable at a glance that like he's probably calling the shots or is at least the face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's fair. I believe Erivid said your name was Blunk.
That'd be correct. I also said my name was Blunk. He looks over at you, Anna, and says, this one ain't too bright, is he?
Sometimes humans just don't catch things right away. So you kind of gotta help him a little bit.
As I come out from that room, I kind of add on. Says his brother was a barrister. Guess it didn't transfer.
Being a barrister is easy. We just recited over a trial. However, that all said, for the three of you, as the housekeepers of this estate, which I do appreciate, what are your capabilities? Is that a fair question?
You need things moved, we'll move them. You need things tidied up, we'll tidy it up. You need pests dealt with? Well, it's a good thing we can turn into cats.
All right. Well, that's all quite practical. I ask mostly because the four of us here, we're making moves in this region that I'm sure may draw some unwanted attention. And it's never been something that I was all right with to bring others into my conflict, either advertently or inadvertently.
Nice.
So what are you saying?
I just want to make sure that the three of you will either be alright and out of harm's way, or capable of defending yourselves in the estate. Either way, I find agreeable.
Well, don't you worry yourself about us. We've lived here long before you, and we'll likely live here long after you as well.
Very well. That's probably undeniably true. Oh, you're claiming A19? That was the one I claimed before. Okay, that's fine. You can have A19.
Yeah, and I will say, the entirety of the map can be
A19s.
changed.
Guys.
You can change
5
things.
A19s.
There are several A19s.
Which A19 are you claiming, Kassadin?
I think he was going for that one. He went in
All
there.
A19s are
Oh.
bedrooms.
Okay.
Yep, that's the one I was
And
going.
I've got A21.
Yep. Yeah, you can have A21. I'll stick with the queen size mattress. Probably a king size mattress if we're being honest here. that I claimed before.
As you're all kind of down here, this one over here, this little old man looking dude, without even really raising his head from his rest, just says to the room, do any of you have that drink you promised us? I'm getting rather thirsty listening to you all talk.
I look at Erivid.
Same.
Same.
Unfortunately, there's a kind of a shortage. We're working on that. Don't worry. Best I can offer is tap.
I think I'll pass for now.
Told you we needed to look out for some goodies.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it is late. I suppose we can turn in for the day and investigate some of those other leads we've gotten today.
I think that's a wise idea. And Anastasia would make a point at this time to introduce herself to the three of them as well. So they're on name basis.
They look at you. They actually all turn and look at you, but Blunk specifically says, if we knew there was going to be a lady staying in the house, we would have tidied ourselves up a bit more.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment. I have a feeling I'm going to be a regular visitor, so don't feel the need to gush yourselves up for me. But if we do have visitors coming, we will make sure to let you know so you can put your best foot forward.
That's good to know. Good to know. He kind of looks at Erivid a little bit and says, you could have warned us.
I didn't know you were picky about the gendered orientation of your guests.
We'd like to impress. Why do you think we picked the best cat colors?
I stand corrected. I'm sure you'll make a wonderful impression when you aren't rushed.
We shall certainly see.
Would one of you mind assisting me with some rearranging? Last minute? Late night?
I can help out. I'm already doing it. Blunk hops off the couch.
Alright.
What do you need?
As good as the observatory room is, I note that no one has really paid attention to the master bedroom. If you would mind helping me relocate a mattress.
Gladly. He follows you upstairs, and if anyone was, anyone who has taken rooms upstairs like Kassadin would probably notice that Blunk, with one hand, kind of has his finger pointed towards the bed and is just, like, telekinetically moving it room from room.
I think it's funny, the idea of, like, hey, little old man, want to help me move a mattress?
And then he does it better than the regular-sized humans.
Oh, straight up. Thank you, Blunk.
Anytime, you know where we are.
I don't always know where you are. Like, you're near, but,
But never far. And he
yeah.
kind of just winks at you and then closes the door behind him as he walks out.
If there isn't a bed,
Bedtime.
there isn't a bed in the guest room that Anastasia's claiming as her own, she would ask if she could get some help getting a bed into the room.
One of them, Blunk, since he kind of Blunk rolls his shoulders as he's just coming downstairs, and he goes, I can do it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
We'll grab this bed.
look
It's a
at
nice
that.
looking bed.
Yeah. Oh, right there. Yeah.
Smaller.
As big as the room.
Boom.
Yeah. Can you rotate it so the head is this way?
Picky. You
Thank
come into our house and you picky.
Thank you.
Picky like this. Alright, have a good night. Don't let us bite.
Good to know. Thank you. She's wary of every cat in this house now.
Let's see, can I put this to the back? There we go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Alright, does everyone call it a night, or does anyone do anything else?
I'll probably call it a night.
Yeah, I think I'll probably call it a night. I guess a weird off question. If Desmond can get his hands on like a language to language dictionary and he reads some of it every night, after a long period of time, would it be possible to at least pick up a broken language? I'm just curious.
I could be convinced
Okay.
to allow broken the rule from Rise of the Rune Lords, where you could possibly learn a broken language enough to understand a phrase or two, but not necessarily speak it.
I mean that makes sense. Yeah, if you're just reading a dictionary, you probably don't know the whole structure of the language. Just thought it'd be something kind of flavorful to do before retiring for the day.
Sure. There's a library in the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, where's the
A18.
A18?
This room.
Oh, that's the library. Oh, well, gee, that's just perfect.
And it's got a fireplace.
Okay, yeah. If this
Oh,
has
if only you
books-
skinned the manticore, you could have a manticore rug in the library.
a manticore rug. The last manticore rug I have is totally metagamey from the other campaign. But anyways, I'll pick a book out that looks like it has more than one edition, and kind of just read between the two if that's possible.
Sure, so you just pick a random book from one of the...
Yeah, it would basically be random. I'm just looking for one that looks like it's been written in two different languages, one that I understand and one that I don't.
Okay. One moment. Alright, I literally just looked up random book generator.
Cool.
And it's shocking what got rolled up. I hate that this is the random book, but you find a book called Admiral Arguments on the Orcish Lexicon.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
Part common, part orc.
All right, I'll pick up work. So yeah, I'll just keep that. I'll probably just look for a small nightstand and put that next to my bed, and I'll just read that every night.
Sure. So you start the process of reading Admiral Arguments on the Orcish Lexicon. Nothing happens in the night now that you have befriended the three creatures. They do not find necessary to try and spook you out of your house and drag you from your beds and dump you on the front lawn, as they would have done should you have not befriended them. But the night comes and goes, and you're able to get your sleepy times, which is... Oh god, I forgot what it was. What was it? Max HP plus... No, it's con plus hit die. I got there. Character level plus con mod. I was close.
That's a solid 4 for me.
Hey, you know, all HP helps.
I'm at max.
Same.
I'm good as...
As everyone was resting, and you begin to wake up,
We get a level?
I'm tempted, but
No.
not yet.
don't
You
wanna
hear
make
shouting
the
from
rest of this.
downstairs. Hey, all of you, wake up, come downstairs. We got something for you, the three of us.
Oh, well, I'll get myself ready in a hurried fashion.
Yep, I'll head down too. Probably right behind Kassadin.
I will very sleepily exit my room. Because I'm on ground floor.
We're back
Okay.
on the couches. What's up?
Yeah, back on the couches. And as you see them on the couches, you see that there is a fine-looking sword resting in the middle of the couch between them. And Blunk says, since you actually, well, at least one of you actually took the time to befriend us and make a deal with us to let us keep living here, we thought we'd give this to you. We've been holding on to this for a while. We figured it's yours now. We don't really need anything for it.
Wow. How's it look aesthetically? What's the visual details of this sword?
I'll tell you. It is a interestingly curved sword that has 5 gemstones in its pommel. You notice that 4 of them are broken, but there's a white gem in the center which is still intact. And why don't I just show it to you? Why don't you can see what it does. I don't mind. Coriana's Blade.
Wow. Longsword, won't use. That's nice. Who is casting magic missile on them so much?
Hey, you know, a lot of people.
Well, I mean, if
Enough
these
to
guys-
put a gem that can negate it in it.
Right? If
5
these
of
guys
them.
have been negating magic missiles, they're probably well and capable of holding their own.
I pick it up to get a look at it. It's a bit hefty for my taste, but I give it some playful swings as I make my way over to the rest of the party. Kind of showing it off.
It's a fine blade. I kind of look at Kassadin and then back at Anastasia. Are any of you trained with this weapon?
No, I'm not really trained with that many weapons, if at all.
Anastasia, are you able to use a longsword?
Out of character? I don't. Oh, yeah. I actually had to look it up because I'm like, I actually don't know if I can. She kind of nods, a little surprised, looking at the item and says, I can give it a swing. I am somewhat skilled with long blades, though they don't traditionally suit me.
Okay, I'll hand it off and take a couple steps back.
Yeah, she'll move to like here to not hit anybody. How's it feel? Feel like a good swing?
Well, if you're proficient in these types of weapons, yes, it feels like a pretty good swing. It's got a nice heft to it, and it feels pretty good to wield.
Can I? Can I cast Detect Magic on the sword and see if I can't pinpoint what the other gems used to be?
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Okay. You certainly can. Let's see. Okay. So make a knowledge arcana. If you're holding on to it. You need to read this spell again. Strength and location of each aura. If the items or creatures are bearing any auras, make a check. If the aura emanates from a magic item, you can attempt to identify its properties. So it would be a spellcraft.
$13.
13. You're not really able to tell what the other gems may or may not have done.
Oh, dang. Okay. She'll kind of give a little shrug and say, It's a nice weapon, and it holds very well. While it's not my go-to weapon, I suppose that I could make use of it at some points.
What buttons do you use again?
Blunk pipes up and says, "Yeah, well, at least it's going to someone who can actually use it. None of us really favor bladed weapons ourselves. As long as one of you get a use out of it, it's well gifted."
Thank you for this gift. It is very appreciated. Does it have a sheath?
That's all we found with it, just the blade.
Oh, completely understandable. I will get one to house it properly to keep it safe. Again, thank you very much.
Of course. It's what our friends for, right?
Yes, quite.
Well, seems we've made good acquaintance.
Indeed.
Oh my god, these faces are...
What do you think we might be able to get up to today?
Well, it depends. Anyone feel like fishing?
I side-eye Desmond.
Sorry, it's a early morning joke. We can look for that missing angler. I'm not sure what kind of a creature might have caused the disappearance of one of the townspeople, but I'm certain it'll acquire a good deal of attention and care handling.
I
That
suppose
does make sense to
depending
me.
on depending on I guess how fast we solve this mystery, we also do have the bandit camp that's located more north of that area. Oh,
That seems a bit of a stretch as far as ride times.
yeah, that's why I said depending on how fast we solve it. I suppose we can do the angler thing first if one else has any other suggestion.
And just to remind myself, Lake Pensaris has the angler problem. The Palace of Birdsong Lake is where the Night Swan is, and Baron Tellus's bandits are like, are they up here or down here?
I thought we
Yeah, Lake
realized the angler is
Pensaris.
Lachlan.
Now I need to find out my own information. Pensaris is the angler. Lachlan is the night swan.
Oh, okay.
Hey, the Night Swan or the bandit?
Night Swan, he said.
You've heard
Oh.
both rumors.
Oh,
The evil baron is also up by Lachlan.
okay.
Oh,
Okay, so the
uh,
Lachlan Lake has 2 out of the 3.
Actually, I take that back. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff on the map.
No, you're good.
The baron, the evil baron, and his men are over here.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
way the heck over there. Jesus. Okay. That's
Night
that's a
Swan.
ride.
Angler, barren. You would also have to get past the broken Gold Coast highway.
That's kind of what I was wondering about. We can probably tackle one of the closer problems.
And
One of the
I
more
will also have
accessible
you-
problem.
Yeah.
I'll remind everyone now, but this is also, I believe, day 2.
Yeah, get us our tasty improvements. Oh, that too.
I'll remind for now, but you are a day away from them reminding you
Okay.
to visit for tea.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yes.
And how are we gonna travel to the crab people?
I think we only have one method right now, and it's going up here and making this long trek, which, would any of us be able to estimate that in terms of travel time?
It'd certainly take you a couple of days.
Okay.
Or yeah, use this handy dandy counter.
Okay, so it seems calibrated. That's good.
So it's just a little over 43 miles. I did cut some corners, so we can probably round up to 45. And we cover how many miles in a day?
Oh, that might be something that I can answer.
Yeah.
Because of a certain trek going on elsewhere. That doesn't help. I lied.
Oh, well. We have liars in our
Pathfinder
midst.
Overland Trial. Exploration and movement.
Good old exploration.
No, this is actually not what I want at all. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, movement. Local, measured in feet per minute. That's not overland, getting from place to place. Movement and distance. Yes, please. 1 hour overland. That is really far. We can cover 24 miles comfortably on feet in a day.
Okay, so it's a 2-day walk basically.
Yeah,
Oy.
that's right. Because the Sword Coast has sparse inns 24 miles apart.
Okay.
World building.
World building. Well,
We could also hustle. But that is, I think, encumbering for us.
near the Palace of Birdsong, are there like inns or places where we can stay? Or is Stocky's basically the only town on our way over to the crab people?
No, there's the town of Lotheater, which is where Anna said she is from.
Oh, hey, maybe we should just head in that direction. Like, we can knock out the Lachlan Lake encounter and then go towards Lotheater as a halfway point, and then make the rest of the trek towards the crab people.
I guess I'll just ask the obvious question, but how bad would it be if we tried to travel through like I guess not the road. Like, how long would that take us?
So
You'd also be
over regular land travel.
setting yourself to the wilderness.
Yeah, that would be... difficult.
Would it be significantly slower? Yeah. So
I would
the
definitely
road
imagine.
route is like 45 miles, give or take. And like if we just try to cut through like a bird, it's like 32. So let's see, 24. If we make this track, gets us to about we get to a road. And we cut straight through.
I don't think that would work. Terrain.
Out of curiosity, are we assuming that we're leaving from Stockies, or are we leaving from the Bentley estate?
They're so close to each other. It's. I
Oh,
mean,
straight up it says that it's 5 miles. So,
what?
like,
This?
oh no, oh never mind. I was assuming like right here. I don't know why I thought Bentley estate was literally where the name was.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this is the Benton estate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep,
This
fair
right
enough.
here.
Okay.
This marker is just like how this castle marker is the Okara Barony. This castle marker, Palace of Birdsong.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Fair enough.
we can. I
Oh, the
think
castle
we
marker's
can
not
probably
even
just
there. There
take,
you go.
I think we can probably just take the road if there are any reservations at all about cutting through the wilderness. Kassadin probably seems to be the person who would recommend going through the wilderness, seeming like he's more experienced with that. But
I just don't think it's our best idea. You know?
Well,
I'm sure we'll
I was
run
just
into stuff.
checking,
Yeah.
but also the thing is that that direction is heading towards the bandits, so the chances that we might get ambushed right now. I just had to ask, just because, like,
Okay.
was it
Yeah. So then, are we at an agreement that we want to take the road around?
yeah, we'll probably have to
Yeah.
take the road around just to be safe.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. Well, that's settled. What do we want to tackle today? Let's figure that out and then make our way towards there. And then, do we also want to
You
make
just hear in
progress towards the crab people?
You just hear in the background, because I imagine this entire conversation still happening in like the living room area of the house. So you just hear in the background Blunk saying, "It's good to know that our new house owners have some brains to them."
Pay them no mind.
They demand all the attention. Nothing wrong with that. But all the
More or
same,
less, you guys have a trio of Statler and Waldorf. It's Statler, Waldorf, and one more.
Oh goodness. I'm just imagining 3 Waldorfs. That'd be that's a thing. Anyways,
I thought Sadler Waldorf was like a singular name. I don't know who they are.
What?
What?
You've
You've
What?
never
from
seen the Muppets?
drawn together, right? Oh, I totally had a
Not
different.
really.
What?
I totally had a different one in mind.
Not very
Educate
often.
yourselves. Educate
No,
yourselves.
I won't. I don't
You
think I
can't
will.
make us. We're
I
actually
will
agreeing
remain
on
ignorant.
something. All right.
Come on.
All right. Us 2 willingly ignorant people and the 2 other people. Where do we want to go?
I think we're gonna go to Lachlan or Pensaris. Which one
Okay.
was the angler?
Like
Pensaris.
Yeah.
Let's go find some fisher bones.
All right.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that for sure.
Did I just hear Discord? Did one of you snitch on us about not knowing the Muppets?
It wasn't me, I promise. I can't click out of the screen I'm on for Discord.
Oh, that's their names. Okay. Yes, I do know them. I just didn't know their names.
I know them from memes. That's it.
You guys have hurt my feelings. Go deal with the fish.
Oh my god.
Let's go play with the
Oh,
fish, you guys.
great.
Oh, goodness.
Great, we're all gonna get killed by a big fish now.
You know what?
He doesn't like us.
Nessie's showing up,
Yeah.
enacting vengeance.
Oh my god. Alright, so let's look at this travel from the Bettany estate to the lake.
Half a day. Depending on where we need to go.
Okay.
4 hours. Not half a day. We could travel 8 hours a day.
Wake up bright and early, say around 10 o'clock. Get to the lake around 2, 3-ish even.
Ten plus 4 is 12. Unless you want us to take an extra 2 hours to go, like, further. Am I freaking out?
10
Did I have a
plus
stroke?
4 is not 12. 10 plus 2 is 12.
10 plus 2 is 12. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Because I wasn't,
I was like,
actually.
is my math wrong?
No. No, it wasn't.
Alright, let's put some good. I don't think I have any good lake music. This is sad.
My pattern recognition has failed me.
Would we be able to, like, bed down at the Okara Barony afterwards? I don't imagine that we'd go there, take like 20 minutes to resolve the whole thing, and then head back. I'm imagining that we would need to, like, investigate. I don't know if it'll be as quick as the mill.
Oh, what's a night spent out in wilderness?
You know
I probably
what?
don't
You're
know.
right.
I've been a noble my entire life.
Desmond slept under the stars before on a ship.
Don't mind me, you
Erivid
guys
has
just
slept
RP
under the stars before,
you guys
inside
just
of his manor.
keep
Sorry.
the lake. Just keep going. Don't worry. Don't mind me. I'm making your lake as we speak. Keep going. Keep interacting.
All right. So, as we're heading over, I think Desmond kind of just takes note of basically everything passing through Stocky's village again, and is trying to gauge if the general mood of the town has improved at all since the mill has been cleared out, the funds have been issued forth, if anything has changed yet.
As you move through the town, you definitely see some people a bit happier. The place looks nicer. People are out and about. I mean, it's still kind of a shit show of a town, but people have begun starting to work because it's back up and running. You know, they were waiting for something to happen to, you know, just snap like that, and when they realize, oh hey, we can actually get back to work, you know, it seems like the people jumped on it.
Okay. That does resound positively with Desmond personally. So he takes note of the industriousness of the people.
I'm almost done with your lake, don't worry.
Someone else vamp for 2 more minutes.
I will.
Here we go, lake.
Oh, fine.
Oh no, go ahead. I'll take us back. Teleportation power is back to the map. There's no lake. What lake?
How dare you?
Ooh, he didn't like the lake.
I was gonna fill time and you're like, nope. Shut down. Yeah, as they're traveling, Anastasia would actually turn to Kassadin and say, where do you feel like your expertise is going to lie when it comes to helping the town? I'm genuinely curious.
Well, it's more like trying to, well, it would be procuring, I guess, people to help with projects as well as looking for resources, or like what resources would be best to, help with the logistics. For now, it looks like this place does have the resource it needs to perform these projects. We just need to make sure, well, they're funded. The bridge at Golden Coast Canyon is a different topic, or is a different subject altogether. We're gonna need to try to see if we can procure some more supplies for that, or just pay a lot for it.
I agree, and I do feel like that is a priority for the income of the town as a whole. If you think of any ideas and you need any assistance, feel free to reach out. I do want to help where I can, but I feel a little lost on where to help, as it's not really my forte.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that needs work, and really trying to prioritize the projects that we can do right now is probably our best action.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can sort of get something started. I would have preferred to try to get that bridge started up, but right now the town is just not in a position to, well, just tackle that bridge yet.
Yeah.
So I think just improving the amenities of the town is probably the best thing to do first.
Between that and being able to get the vineyard up and running, that will be cause for trade. So I think that once that becomes up and running and the production starts again, I think that's when our priority would focus more on the bridge.
Yeah. In all honesty, the bridge is probably going to be one of the last projects we deal with. That's just the feeling I'm getting, just based on past projects I've done before. But I think for now, just trying to get ourselves accustomed with the local area and to tackle whatever small issues we're capable of doing is probably the best thing we can do right now. Maybe along the way we'll come across something that we could probably use.
I agree. And maybe in addition, we can make some connections that would be able to help us with that, because I don't even know how bad the road is on the other side. So is it just fixing a bridge, or is it fixing up the road altogether? And we kind of got to brace ourselves for that as well.
Yeah. Another thing I'm concerned with is that the bridge is located within the supposed location of the bandits. So sending people over there may endanger them possibly. But we're going to need to deal with those bandits first before we take any actions to fixing that bridge.
That's very true. I can understand how and why that would be a priority.
Maybe that's something we can probably tackle like once we visit the crabs, since the locations are well, the bandits are accessible via road from their place. However, for now we should probably deal with the angler and then also just stop by Okara, just to say hello and try to gather any information that he may have come across these past few days.
Agreed. I think that's a great idea. I do think that we need to be diligent on the road, especially as we're heading to and from the crab's location. There is a chance that we could end up meeting the bandits, but the people that we're probably going to meet are not going to be the source of the actual problem. So that's worth keeping in mind as well.
Yeah, but there's no reason to be too concerned about future problems. Right now, let's focus on the problem that's right before us, and tackle things one step at a time.
That's very true. Oh look, the lake is coming over the horizon.
Ah,
Transition.
Perfect segue, guys. Perfect. And with the Okara barony, I will actually put on the map, 11 next to his little castle is also the town of Kansaris, which you would know, Anna, is the second most, not rich, but it's the second most, what's the word? I guess we'll just use rich for now. It's the second most rich town next to your own of Lothid.
Oh, okay.
And yes, here is your lake with, hold on, lake sounds. Well, lakeside camps, but there's water in here. There you go. There's water. My makeshift lake.
Making our way here, did we see any locals that could possibly direct us to where they think the incident happened?
Yeah. I mean, if you were passing through, you definitely would have passed by the town of Kansaris. So you could have stopped in to say hello or ask questions.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can do that either through RP or through a roll. I'm good either way.
I mean, if you're just asking around, yeah, roll diplomacy. Asking
All right.
around.
All right.
21. Pretty good, pretty good. You find someone to talk about it. The person tells you, if you want to know more, there's a hermit who lives on the lake. He might know more. I can't really tell you where it happened, but we fished up some detritus on the southern side of the lake. If you can manage to find Jeek, he'll know more. He only comes into town every once in a while to get supplies. Very odd fellow. He calls himself the General's butler. Can you believe that? He thinks he talks to that thing.
Interesting. All right, that's very useful information. Would we be able to get like a rough sketch or directions to this hermit's shack, presumably?
Oh, it's not hard to find. Just go along the northern side of the lake. Crazy old hermit built himself a home inside of a beaver dam.
Oh, all right. We'll keep an eye out.
And then eventually you find yourselves on the lake front.
Are we
Presume-
relatively close to the hermit's location?
No. This map as of now is just you've just gone to the lakefront. You've left Pensaris, you're now on the lakefront.
I take in the fresh breeze off of the waterfront
Could I
and feel at home.
Could I check to see if I see any abnormal like animal prints or like any signs of like what may be living in the water?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you could do, I guess, survival or knowledge nature?
Okay. Yes, I will do a knowledge nature.
24. You don't see any tracks or anything, or if you do see any tracks, they might just be simple deer tracks or anything of that sort. You do see some fish swimming in the shallows. It's a pretty big lake. So the idea that a old monster might be living in its waters could hold truth. But you don't see any giant monster as of now. You do see fish, but you believe that it might be possible for something big to be in these waters.
And I guess, does the water look like it's stagnant or is it like flowing?
It is beautiful flowing water.
Okay, well, at the very least, we're not going to encounter another of those things that we encountered back at that / mill or whatever that was.
Desmond's kind of chuckling as he continues walking along the road. If it's true this hermit built a home out of a beaver dam, it doesn't seem like it's serving its purpose very well.
I think about it's like, do I actually see any beavers nearby, or like, or is there just fish?
I mean, with that, yeah, I mean, you could roll me a perception.
All right.
At least from your side of the lake, you don't see any beavers around, but it is a pretty big lake.
Okay. Kassadin's gonna take note of this until we see like the scale of the beaver dam. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it for me.
I don't really have much. I guess we can keep walking along till something does come into sight. Maybe we can prod the surface of the water to try and persuade the general out or something.
I could certainly do something like that.
Upon hearing that idea, I'm gonna step slightly closer to the road. Just so that I actually have enough time to react.
Desmond's gonna take a step forward off the road, and he's gonna use basic hydrokinesis to kind of just move the water around. It's not strong enough to like lift the water up, but it's strong enough to create currents.
All right, understood. What is the range on it?
Good question. The range on it is create water, blah blah blah. Huh, it doesn't say the range. It just says the currents are strong enough to run a water mill as if the mill were being turned manually by a creature with a strength score equal to my intelligence score. So I think that's the best gauge I can give you.
Okay. Well, in that case... Oh, yeah, that might be it. Maybe it's the same
That's-
range as your blasts?
That's pretty reasonable. Yeah, my blasts are like range 30.
Okay, so not far into the lake.
I mean, if I'm standing still, it's actually 120.
Okay, so you can get maybe a decent way into the lake.
Yeah.
As you do this and you're making ripples in the water, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something.
Boy.
That's what
Here
I'm
we
gonna
go.
do. Love doing stuff. Let's see here. Alright, do you want to make an attack roll? Just for funsies?
Of course.
It goes wide.
Okay. You begin making waves and splashes in the water, but nothing from the water seems to respond other than maybe a frenzy of fish. Simple fish.
It's possible we can test the waters again a small distance away. It doesn't seem like my irritation of the waters here is resulting in anything useful.
Well, I guess we'll keep going. No sense muddling around here. It's a large lake, clearly.
Okay. As you all keep going... This is going to be funny. You begin walking further down the lake, taking your time. Well, I guess I should ask, is Anna doing anything? You're kind of just hanging out?
I am. I'm just kind of observing what's going on. I have made it a point to get off my horse so I could stay within distance of everybody, but I'm having my horse kind of like trail more inland away from the water, so if something does pop out, he doesn't get hurt. So as a player, I'm actively making my horse avoid getting hurt because I don't want him in initiative.
Got it. I wouldn't be so cruel. Yes, I would.
I should say that it also bonded with the cat, so you know, you gotta protect it now.
Yes, of course. And I believe yesterday was National Pet Day too, so I gotta be extra nice.
Exactly.
As you're all going down further down the waterfront, I'm just gonna stay on this map because it's the best I got. You eventually spy, and oh my god, where did this come from?
Oh my god, everyone.
Surprise! It's a dam.
I can see how the dam is not blocking the river.
Oh, welcome
Could I,
back.
could I do an investigate or a perception check on that dam? See if that was made by like a normal sized beaver.
Sure. I mean, it definitely looks beaver made, but it also looks very old. Like, it probably hasn't been useful in a very long time.
Okay, I'm just wondering if it's actually using those giant logs as part of the dam.
Yeah, this little bit here is more to symbolize the middle of the dam. Well, I'll be damned. Yes, you will.
So I'm just wondering, looking at the dam, does it look like it's just like branches and maybe like small wood chunks, or are there actually like large like log sized wood actually blocking the water being used?
It doesn't look like it's blocking the water anymore, but it is definitely, picture, despite what I had to use to make shift this, picture what a dam looks like from regular beavers. That's what this looks like, except it's not blocking water.
Okay, I just want to make sure that the general isn't a giant mutated beaver.
Giant beaver?
Okay,
Hey, you never
well,
know.
that alleviates my concern. Okay, that's enough of me.
Shall we call out or shall we knock?
I don't know, I've heard it's bad luck to knock on wood.
We're obviously raised in very different cultures.
That was a joke. Beaver Hermit! Hello? Maybe he's out, getting groceries.
You get a
Doesn't
shout
look
back,
nice.
as you're saying, you get a shout back that says, "That is not my name."
I just point into the shelter. He's home. That's good.
So he is.
Sir, may we speak with you on the general?
Oh, you want to speak of the general? He gives good auto insurance, I hear. He does.
Does he save you some time?
He's friends with Shaq. What do you want to know about the general?
Well, where the general may be at, what kind of deeds he gets up to, if you know of any missing individuals.
You see a tiny little halfling kind of crawl out of the wood and begin making his way towards you down the various logs as he stands on some of them. Very disheveled looking guy. And he looks over all of you and says, "What brings you to seek out the general? You wish to hurt this creature? That I will not stand for. You youngsters always coming out to this lake looking to ruin the wildlife."
I can see you're concerned. We're being honest, we're merely, at this point, looking to locate a missing angler. That doesn't necessarily call for violence, does it now? And I look around at the party.
No, I see no reason why violence has to be the answer. We can have a very civil discussion about this.
Give me a diplomacy, Erivid. Anna, you can provide a bonus if you wish.
Yes, I would like to provide the bonus of support. Is that diplomacy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so...
So we're doing just ranks and ability, right? That's what we
Yes.
decided? So that's a +5 bonus for diplomacy.
Okay, plus 13. Okay, 22.
22. Okay. The old hermit says, "Oh, that one. You see, I warned that one from coming to this lake, but they were very determined to get the general. I told them that if they tried disturbing the natural order of things, the general would find its retribution, but they did not listen to old Jeek. No, they did not. If you want to find them, you'd best be going for a swim, because I believe they would be at the bottom of this lake by now." No one listens to the old hermit in the Beaver Dam. They think I'm crazy, but no, I just care more about the wildlife than they do in that town. They don't listen.
Okay. Say we aren't out for blood. Would we still be in danger of the general?
If you pay your respects to the mighty general, then they will respect you back. If for all things to prosper, there must always be a protector, and the general has protected this lake for times and times to come. Some believe it just to be a big fish, but not old Jeek. I believe it is nature come to life to protect those who care for it, like myself. And those who come to tarnish it face nature's wrath.
The last person
Well,
that was here...
Oh,
No,
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. The last person that was here came to hunt the general, but how does the general react to those who don't come to harm it, but come to seek the bounties of the land, such as fishing or gathering water?
If you do not seek to anger the general, it will not anger you. I have lived on this lake for many a year, and I have had no bad encounter. In fact, I speak with the beast. I talk with nature itself, and nature listens to me.
So if peaceful actions were done towards the lake, such as gaining the bounty of the waters like fish, or seeking to collect water to maintain one's health, the general would be okay with that.
Oh yes, nature does not harm those who seek to repay in kind, but you youngsters, and he holds up like a jagged piece of wood that he's been using as a cane this entire time, you youngsters don't respect that. You youngsters come from these big cities and towns and seek to defile everything. That is what your number one mistake is, and that was the mistake of the last person who tried to harm nature. They now find themselves at the bottom of this lake.
Well,
Okay, well,
I fancy myself somewhat of a friend of nature.
doesn't sound like the general is like a major problem. It's just defending its territory. It's not hostile to people in response to hostility in kind. So I think we don't need to take any action.
Perhaps we could pay our respects before we leave.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I wonder if it would be. I wonder if we would be allowed to take the remains of the person who last attempted to harm the general, just to give the family some closure, and in turn make the town very well aware that peaceful approaches to the lake are what is expected, and any non-peaceful approach to the lake will be met with the same hostility. I feel like there may be a lack of understanding from the city's parts, and while we can explain it to the city as a whole, I feel like we would give closure to the family if we were able to bring back something.
No, see, that sounds delightful. Shall we then set up a place to pay respects and see if we can't have a chat as well?
Would you be willing to organize and assist in the chat, since you speak with the general personally? We mean no harm, we mean no ill will, and wish the general to know that we fully support the maintaining of his waters and his domain while respectfully using the resources within it to benefit both sides.
Oh, yes. Old Jeek can contact and speak with the general, but it takes time. If you have somewhere else to be, I would recommend doing that while I prepare all that is needed to call nature itself. You will come back later in the day, and you will have your chat with the general, with Jeek at your side.
There's not something like an insight check in Pathfinder, so would
Sense
it be...
motive.
Oh, there is sense motive. You are correct. Sorry. I'd like to roll a sense motive on this guy.
Sure.
And just make sure we're all on the same page. I have closed out of this game like 6 times tonight, guys. Like, this is...
How do you keep doing that?
Poor recording. I've just clicked things that are on my favorites bar. I just clicked the back button on my mouse. Like, it's been a roller coaster. Okay, let me get my ducks in a row again. Sense motive. Anastasia's character sheet. 17.
17. Sense motive. Okay, hold on a second.
Sure.
Well, I think of what to tell you. So, sense motive. 17. You get the feeling that he's kind of a nutcase who, I mean, obviously, but you get the feeling that he's kind of a nutcase who might be kind of just telling you a tall tale and not the actual truth. But he certainly believes in his own tall tale. That's for sure.
Okay. Okay, good to know. I will look to the party to see if they're inclined to let this guy, quote unquote, help us.
You might see a bit of weariness in my face when it comes to accepting his help. I guess you don't get the exact insight, but I was more thinking, as Erivid, was more thinking that we could get away from him in case things go south and we end up having to actually try to kill the general. Then he wouldn't be around. But, I'll go along with whatever the party's doing. I just, you see a little bit of weariness in my face.
Okay.
Desmond's kind of thinking that respecting nature is great, but with the current climate of the region, people are desperate for food. They probably didn't know any better. But at the same time, it's difficult for Desmond to just take this guy at his word, because he's talking about a sentient, intelligent fish that's acting as the guardian of this giant lake. It just seems so, weird. So I think Desmond's for letting this guy call the fish, because whatever happens will act as a clarifying force, I think.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I can agree with that. Train of thought.
So it seems, good sir, we are at an agreement. We shall return early evening before the sun sets?
I am muted. I gotta get used to using my click to mute keybind. He says, yes, that is perfect time.
Wonderful.
What are we supposed to do in the meantime? Oh, we can go to the Okara Barony. Or estate.
Yeah, we can go visit him
Or
and then come back.
something else. I don't know. We just can't, do a lot more travel. Otherwise, it would be more difficult to get back home in the same night.
Yeah. I think we have enough time to get to the other place and then come back here. Right? Right,
Okay.
Jam?
Well, let's look at the map.
Go back to the map.
We seem to be pretty close. Unless we're, over here or something.
Oh, I need to move it, but it's small. Well, there's a big check mark now. This is meant to be the dam. It's meant to be further down, but I can't move it. So it's there.
Oh.
You know what? Screw it. It's there. There's the check mark. That's the dam.
I actually don't know if we could get back tonight anyway, without forced marching.
Freaking move it, but it won't let me.
Well, if we're
Maybe if
there.
I stretch it out. Damn. Now I can't even click it. Okay, hold on. Let me redraw the dam. It's here-ish.
From a technical standpoint, if we force hurried back home, we would have almost a full day to recover in the safety of our home. So even forcing it, getting back at 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, it could end up being beneficial.
That's true. And I guess if we are resting afterwards, that would get rid of the non-lethal damage we accrue.
You are also friendly with the Baron. And you have housekeepers.
Yeah.
True, we really don't have to hurry back to maintain the house, and we have a confidant.
Okay.
But it is a good
So-
thing to know for the future.
Off to the barony to see if we can get resources and figure things out.
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
Okay. So, you find your way through the town of Pensaris first to head up to the home of Nicholas O'Cara. It's a nice looking house. I don't have a map for it, but picture kind of similar to your own home that you now own, the Bettany estate. But not as underkept. You know, he has people actively keep it up place. And you're able to knock on the door. And let's see, where was he? You're met with this face at the door welcoming you. And he says, oh, so what do I owe the visit?
Well, we were in the area and we decided to drop by. We actually were. We were at Lake Pensaris, trying to look into a missing angler. You live certainly a lot closer. Do you know much about the general?
Oh, yes, the general. Most in town simply believe it to be an old catfish that has managed to live for quite a while. But if you believe any rumors around town, some might say it's a fey creature that attacks those who wish it harm. I wouldn't take those tales to truth, though. Lake Pensaris is long and deep in its waters. It's probably just an old fish.
Got it. Anyway, we think... Do we have a project specified for the resources?
Oh, yes, the resources. I was just getting ready to send someone over in the morning to deliver. While a lot of you figure that out, why don't you take a seat? I'll have someone bring in some tea.
Oh, we'd love that.
Kind of guides you to like a nice little sitting room that has a couch, some chairs, there's a fireplace going. A theater of the mind.
Is it a modest house? Or is it really lavish?
It's not as fancy looking as Anna's home, but it's better looking than the Bettany estate. So it's also not as nice as the Palace of Birdsong, but it's it's got what you can only imagine to be expensive paintings, chandelier, like it's a fancy person's house.
Yeah, but it's not in your rubbing it in your face wealthy
unlike the Palace of Birdsong.
Yeah.
It's showing wealth, but not showing wealth to make you feel poor.
It's more like, hey, I bought this cool thing, not, hey, look at all the cool things I own.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's interesting because as you kind of look around the house, it is that type, there's fancy all about the house. You can clearly see stuff that you can only assume to be expensive. But at the same time as being, like upper middle class, it's also not like that at the same time. It's a very humble looking home because you see more, how can I say, you see more like military trophies than you do like expensive pottery or whatnot. Like
okay.
Baron Nicholas O'Kara being more of a military man. The house still does look fancy, you know, I'm showing off my wealth, but it's less, here's all this expensive stuff, and more so, here's this expensive stuff, but also mostly like military trophies.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
So it's a mix. I don't know how I expect. It's like a mix of humble living, but also expensive living.
Yeah, it's my time in the military has earned me blank stuff, which are just kind of out of the reach for normal citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Any game? Does it look like he's a hunter?
You do see a couple like deer heads and animal heads on the wall of this sitting room.
Okay. Anything superly abnormal?
That's a good question. I kind of want to make a roll for it.
Sure, I'll take a roll for that.
Let's see. Where's O'Kara? I'm gonna roll something from O'Kara. It's very funny because with this module, both books are in one. I didn't realize this. I have two different versions of Baron O'Kara. One from the first book, and the second one is literally just called Baron Nicholas O'Kara 2 to differentiate.
Huh. I wonder what the difference are.
Nothing.
Really? Oh, that's
just
that's
it's literally just to differentiate.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh my god. Okay. It's nothing interesting. It's definitely no manticore head. But on one of his walls, we'll say there is a similar creature, maybe not as aggressive, but there is a griffin head.
Oh. Griffins aren't aggressive.
I rolled a natural 20 for a 27 on his roll to determine what the creature was going to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, she would, before even sitting down, she would just be observing it kind of in awe.
And some time goes by, leaving you guys to discuss plans before O'Kara comes back with tea.
The funding of the Gold Canyon Bridge would require 3,000. O'Kara can provide a third of that if the four of us could muster another 2,000 gold pieces.
What are the chances that the crabs may donate funds as well? Got an audience with them, but I'm curious on if they would be inclined to participate in something like that. I didn't get a chance to interact with them too much at the party. Do one of you have an insight on that?
I did interact with them a small amount, but it seems more likely that they may have troubles of their own, that perhaps if we help them, maybe they could pay for our services, rather than us going over and basically begging for them to help us with our estate.
So it's on the topic of raising funds, don't we have all those things that we managed to like excavate from below the? I forget. Is it a mill or pump house? We have. I forget. I believe you appraised those materials before, and those could be used to help fund some projects if we're not planning on using them or like decorations or stuff.
Actually, that out of game brings up a great question. Anastasia's been wearing the ring with the gems on it. Has she felt any different since wearing that ring?
Muted.
Did you shift mute yourself again?
Thank you. The button's on my mouse. I gotta get used to that. Here I am still clicking the button on my microphone. You do feel yourself to be a little more kind of like lightweight.
Or lightweight. Okay.
Ooh, nimbleness.
Right? Goodness.
You do make a good point, Kassadin. We could possibly auction some of those items off, but I don't imagine we'd have very many buyers out here. We'll need assistance finding buyers to acquire these funds.
Well, technically, well, we didn't get to prepare them now, but as we're heading over to Crabs, they may be interested in some of the goods.
I wonder if we could talk Bartleby into hosting another party. Hold an auction for the items. He's got his nose into many different people who could probably provide a wealth of coin for things like this. Another excuse for him to throw a party and show off his own personal goods. I could see that maybe being a direction we could take as well.
That is true, but if he hosted it, wouldn't he receive a share of all the items that are auctioned then, technically? So we would be receiving, well, however much less than we normally would if we were just to sell it directly.
Well, that is true. We'd be presenting it to a bigger audience with bigger pockets.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something to keep in mind.
I suppose while we're here, Okara, are there any additional tasks that you seem to have your eyes on? Perhaps ones that could gain us some additional favor in the upkeep around the county?
He thinks to himself as he comes out with the a little plate of teacups. And he says, let's see here. One moment. He says, oh, well, if you can manage to find out who that pesky vigilante is, this night swan, and take care of them, that would certainly make some of us rather happy. They've been attacking supplies and trade routes as we bring goods in. And we don't need that to be sullying the county.
Good to know. So the night song would be a good task for Okara as well.
Yes, always troublesome when a vigilante pops up in your county or your town or village dealing with your trade and having to make sure your doors are locked at night, having to warn the villagers. It's not a good time when dealing with one.
Okay, I have a question. Is this vigilante targeting certain types of caravans, or are they indiscriminately attacking all types of supply caravan, whether it's food or money?
Well, my reports have said that the Night Swan has been going after all. Our latest caravan but a few days ago was ransacked and attacked by her.
I'm guessing this is your caravan, correct?
My caravan, some trade routes from Count Lothheed has been hit.
Would you have a rough, I guess, estimate of like what was the security detail for those caravans? Whether it had like a lot of guards or if it was just one or two people?
At least my caravans always have a couple of guards to them. I can't speak for Count Lothheed, but he is a well-guarded man. I don't doubt he wouldn't dilly-dally on the protection of his goods coming in.
Yeah, especially with a vigilante around. If anything, security would have doubled, if anything.
I do have an inn with Count Lothheed's guards. It's possible that they may have heard more about the Night Swan being directly involved in security with Count Lothheed's assets.
That wouldn't be a bad place to start.
I think that's something to keep in mind. Just from the looks of it, we're gonna be passing by that place along the way with the crabs.
Oh yes, the crabs. I take it they invited you to a weekly tea.
That's correct. I take it you're familiar with this. It seems to be a well-scheduled ceremony of sorts.
Oh yes, especially with new nobles in town. She was biting at the reins to invite you over and learn more. As are we all, but some of us are more interested in seeing it through your actions than talk.
Good to know. Anything about this tea ceremony that we should know, or shall we just take it in and relax?
Other than getting ready to hear all the daily gossip from an old woman's mouth, no, it's just tea. And he doesn't say that in like a malicious way. There's definitely like a chuckle behind it.
Got it. So it's more like a Morgan Freeman type of way of saying it rather than like a Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Like, get ready to have your ear talked off by all the latest gossip. But also, it's just tea.
Baron O'Kara, are there other nobles in the area that we would benefit from getting to know?
Oh, well, there's the crabs, of course. There's Lothheed. There's myself. We three are some of the most. There's old Tellus, but he's... Years ago, his estate ran into ruin. I wouldn't even dare talk about him anymore.
I see.
Most towns are overseen by us. There used to be another, the Rawthorns. They don't find themselves living here anymore.
I see.
The Voynums. I believe some of you met them.
That's correct.
But other than that, it would just be us.
All right, that's good to
Understood.
know.
He looks over at Anna and says, who I imagine has probably still been staring at the griffin.
It's been definitely a rotating, like, paying attention to the conversation, and then back to the griffin, and then conversation back to the griffin.
He looks at you staring at the griffin head and says, "Oh yes, that was a mighty good hunt. If you find yourself interested in some larger beasts yourselves, although I imagine a lot of you have already had your fair share with the Iron Lash. This one here I managed to track for several days within the Voidwood, the largest forest behind Baroness Voynum's lands. You'd be surprised how many otherwise extinct beasts here you would find within the Voidwood. That's why I found this beauty."
It's astounding that you were able to take it down. How many men did it take?
Oh, it took a whole good 10 or so hunting party, and if you ask how many men it took with it, well, we came home with about 5.
Goodness. That's amazing. And she just, like, her jaw kind of drops a little bit as she's staring up at the griffin, just in awe.
If you're able to get the rights, Baroness Voynum is well kept up on her lands. The Voidwood is host to lots of large beasts like this, if you can ever get in there and find your way into a scrap.
Could we get a indicator as to where Baroness Voynum's lands are relative to us?
Oh, yes. And he'll bring up, he has one of those, I imagine there's like a county map on his wall. She is here at 17, and here's the Voidwood.
Oh.
Well, that's wonderful information to know. If we ever get permission to go hunting within the Voidwoods, would you like an invitation extended to join?
Well, seeing as you all beat me in the hunt for the lash, I do think perhaps a rematch is in order.
Friendly spar. I think it would be a wonderful time. We will definitely be in touch if or when we get that permission to go back into the Voidwood.
I look forward to it. Now, the rest of you, have you decided what these supplies are to be put used to? I'll have some men bring the wood and everything to your estate in the morning.
There are a small number of projects that we'd like to work on, but we haven't really decided where the materials will go. I think dropping the materials off next to the Bettany estate would suffice for now.
Well, as I said, I'll have some men prepared in the morning and bring it your way via cart.
Okay. We thank you very much so.
Yes, of course. Is there anything else I can help with?
Actually, out of curiosity, as a housewarming present for the new owners of the estate, I was really hoping that I could get my hands on some fine alcohol. However, my journeys have not led me anywhere. Do you happen to have a bottle or two of fine alcohol that I may purchase from you?
He says, "Oh, don't you worry about it. You don't have to purchase anything. How could I be so rude to not have gifted a housewarming gift? You've been kind to me. Just wait here but a moment. Let me go check my stock." And he leaves the room, leaving you all.
Good point.
Yeah, we do owe them some gratitude. So if we can get some to at least bring to them, I think it's a show of good faith.
Quite.
A couple seconds go by, maybe a minute. Comes back, and he has a very nice looking bottle. It has the wax seal on it, and he shows it off to you, Anna, as he's holding it. It's kind of got like this reddish tint to it, as he says, "Oh, this is one of my finest bottles of bloodberry gin. Please take it."
Thank you so much for your generosity. It exceeds no bounds, and it is very much appreciated. And I will gladly take it from him and safely store it within my bag.
Okay.
All right. Title screen?
Quick additional question before jumping to title screen for the Baron. As we go to leave, Anastasia will turn around and say, "Oh, we do have some business that may keep us in the area longer than we anticipate, depending on how long it takes. Do you have a recommendation for an inn in the area, or maybe possibly trouble you for a single night's accommodation? If it comes to that."
Oh, please, you're more than welcome to stay in my home. There's more than enough room.
Wonderful. We are not anticipating for it to take long enough that we can't make it back to the estate, but if we cannot, a warm bed would be very gracious for this evening.
Well, you've been more than friend enough, and should you find yourself needing bed, you have it here.
Many thanks. We are, again, hoping to make it back on time, but if not, we will see you later this evening.
And he will bid you farewell as the door closes. I almost put you on the wrong landing page. As the door closes on session 22, as we go into session 23.
23.
What is this? What is this?
My
What are your...
My measurement numbers got stuck.
What are you... Oh my god. Yeah, I can't even do anything about it. All right, let's stop panicking. Let's go into closing numbers.
Yay! All right, cool.
Bye, YouTube.
Closing numbers. Everybody think about YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone, and pie.
As always, good pie and stay sweet and keep track of your numbers.
Keep track of your numbers. Bye.